Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the Blue Collar Crypto Show. My name is Joe, better known as Dr. Byteball. Coming to you from the new webcam on the new monitor. I am going to go over to screen share in a second here. I'm giving anyone coming over from the Fish broadcast just a second to pop on over. And I'm going to open up a little window here where I can monitor the chat and hopefully get you guys involved in the conversation. So we're going to do a lot of like charting today. We're definitely going to take a look at the price of Bitcoin. We're also going to take a quick look at the price of Ripple. Obviously, we have to give byteball some attention. And then from there, I'm taking requests. So if you have a particular coin and project, as long as I can find it on TradingView, because if it's like a really small, tiny project, then I'm not going to be able to use the same tools. So if I can find it on TradingView, definitely I want to take a look at it and hopefully give you some good news. So, okay, open up the video here, and hopefully we can get the chat. Okay. Nobody yet. Don't leave me hanging, guys. That would just be rude. Hey, what's up, Mark G? I'm going to go into the chart analysis in a second here because I'm waiting for anyone coming over from Fish to tune in, and I figured they'd probably want to see that. But you got a project you'd want me to take a look at on TradingView, do a little of my blue collar charting. You know, I always feel like the guys who do the chart analysis are these white collar guys who are culturally out of touch with most people, and I think that could be the fatal flaw. And that if you're one of these 1% white collar people, you're out of touch with society. Like in America, for example, there's this whole demographic who can't even begin to understand why some people in America like Donald Trump. And you can say what you want about politics, but the fact that they just can't even begin to understand it is testament to there being a cultural divide. So a Storm coin, or a token, or whatever the hell, yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. I'm gonna take a look at Bitcoin first, since that's the granddaddy. You know what? I'm just gonna hop over to screen share now. We can hopefully get a few more people here in a second. But all right. Whoa, that's kind of cool looking. Okay, so when I do my chart analysis, I start with the weekly. And then I look at the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and maybe the 30-minute. Yes, there's a lot of things on a climb today for sure. I mean, Litecoin, definitely, Ethereum Classic. I mean, the market's seeing a real turnaround in sentiment. And because of that, you're going to see, I call it sort of random bull action in the higher market cap projects, not the highest ones, but like Lisk is doing very well today. Ethereum Classic is doing well. Litecoin again, and they have some news behind them. But right now, really any one of those projects, I think, could go on a 10, 20, 30% tear in a day. But anyway, let's go over to Bitcoin here, which if you're looking at it on the weekly chart, you think, man, we probably still could fall quite a ways when you look at where we were at the beginning of 2017. And if you are new to the crypto space and you don't understand how much the market changed in the last year and how much more money it's been exposed to, you might think, okay, we're at dump phase 1 of the grand crypto pump and dump, and you're going to see the capitulation, keep it here for a little while before finally it just blows out of gas completely. If you're looking at the weekly chart, because that was an incredibly steep rise and and it doesn't look like the drop is done yet. Even if you look at it on the log chart, you know, we kind of really started breaking up pretty high here, even on the log chart, but there's still a long way to come down when you're looking at this from the weekly perspective. And that's why anybody with crypto right now, if you're going to buy it, you have to pay attention to it, because we don't know where this is going to be in a month. Like absolutely no idea, no indication. It's Exactly. I actually, if Mark, if you go back through my videos, you'll see that I was pretty bearish on Bitcoin when it was at 8,300, and I'm going to show you why as we get down to the daily chart here. Actually, you'll see my reason for that on the weekly chart. Now, the daily chart, you know, we see this point of like 5,800 is just this incredible low, and it looks like, okay, it got real low. All the, you know, dumb money got shaken out, smart money got back in, and now comes the enthusiasm. But I've said that once Bitcoin gets above 9 grand and the enthusiasm returns, you got to keep in mind, we are probably still in a long-term bear trend, or at the very best, I think, a consolidation and perhaps an accumulation phase. I don't think we're just going to bounce off 600 and the entire world of cryptocurrency is going to turn around. And so I think I would take profit right now. I mean, this is not financial advice, guys, obviously, but I made a mistake in sold some of my byteball shares and then Bitcoin earlier today before byteball went up a lot. And I'm just sitting here going, son of a bitch. But, you know, you got to do what you think is right. So you look at Bitcoin here and you do this little, like, the trend of peaks as it corresponds to the bear trend. And yeah, I mean, Bitcoin certainly might move up to 11 grand, but once it meets some of that pressure, you just think, you know, I mean, this is my blue collar thing, but let's just take a line like that. And, you know, just for the heck of it, let's make it green and solid so visually it looks a little more real. Does that look realistic? Do you think we're just going to come down here and then just right steady back up? Or does something like this look a little more reasonable? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, 11K from a few sources. Like Giving Tree, what's up, man? You guys are turning into my regulars, so I really appreciate it. And I know I've been gone for a couple days. But yeah, if it gets up to this trend of peaks, taking you down to the 4-hour here to really show you why I was kind of bearish on it, is I noticed that underneath the top 2 trend of peaks, there was this something like this, right? And I was thinking, okay, you know, we've come off of 6 grand. We've come up real nice. And I came in on the chart and I noticed this right here, this double positive where, you know, it came up here to about 9 grand, fell back down pretty hard to 8, and its next bull charge did not break the top. Now, you don't get this right every time, but usually if the next top doesn't break above, it's an indicator that we're going to come down. And it started to, but that ended up just being the bear trap, and the market turned around because you never know what can happen. And look at the buy volume that came in. This is absurd. This is what I call a charting anomaly. Selling here was the right decision based on everything we know about charting and analysis. Anomalies can contradict everything. That's half the fun. Green Tree says, and agree about Bitcoin uncertainty, long, do reality check, period of reflection, psychological correctness, consolidation, the hearts and minds of crypto. Exactly right. And, you know, I'm going to use this comment to kind of segue into a little look and discussion about Ripple. But I am right here. If you're holding some Bitcoin, I would scout some profit because, you know, 9,500 is sort of a natural point because it's like this high right here, and then before this correction where my cursor is, but also just the psychological barrier of 10 grand. You know, we came up quick. Bitcoin is really still finding its range and everything, so I think it's a smart decision. I mean, I said it was a smart decision here, and I was wrong. So I could be wrong again. It's not financial advice. Yeah, I mean, you know, Mark, you know, you're playing it conservative, you're playing it long term, and that's, you know, probably the best way to make money here. But let's take it over to Ripple, and we'll just do Ripple against the dollar. Kraken should be good enough. So as a project, I don't like Ripple. You can't even get your tokens on your own hardware. I hear there's 2 billionaires who control a lot of the project. Everything about it seems shady. The way they're networking, the way that they're getting all this PR from mainstream media, it rubs me the wrong way. But one thing I've come to realize is that you can't underestimate stupidity, and you can't underestimate the stupidity of greedy, dumb money. And I started following these crypto groups on Facebook, and especially some Ripple groups. And these guys are delusional, like, and completely uneducated and cocky and confident, and saying, oh, Ripple could one day be $1,500 a share. That's absurd. If Ripple were over $1,500 a share, the entire project would be worth 60 trillion. Or, yeah, Ripple's going to be worth more than the entire stock exchange. That's, yeah. But that notwithstanding, with regard to the United States, where I'm from here, we've all heard of Bitcoin, and now we're all skeptical of Bitcoin. And Litecoin and Ethereum, we've heard of that because it's been on Coinbase. Bitcoin Cash has been on Coinbase and sounds too much like Bitcoin. But Ripple's a new thing. Ripple's got a trendy name, and Ripple is cheap. Not really, because the market capitalization is what's important. But people don't realize that. People have always associated crypto as being something that's expensive. Bitcoins are $10,000. Ethereum is $1,000. Litecoins are $200. Ripple's $1. Dumb money doesn't understand that the number of shares is what matters in the project, not the price of each individual one. They don't get that. So what do they see? In a world that saw the price of Bitcoin going from $1 a few years ago to $10,000, now they see another cryptocurrency that's $1. They don't know jack shit about anything. It's dumb money. So they just see Ripple at $1 and they all buy in. And look at this. There's 2 billionaires that one of them I think has a 17% stake in Ripple, the other has 6%. That is more than enough capital to manipulate the market, to create that artificial volume, to stoke things and everything. So here's my confidence. I got confidence in 2 things. The greed and stupidity of dumb money to keep buying this nonsense, and the greed of billionaires who will manipulate it upward. So I will buy this, and I will hold it, and I will wait for every moron to come flooding into this market, and I will dump my shares on the morons, run away to the bank, get more shares of byteball, buy myself a Bentley, and insult you guys on the internet. So that's my point. Ripple went all the way up to $3.30 a share, came all the way down to 59. This is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. But you know what? Why not get on the back of it? You know, and this was the argument. You know, I got on Facebook, I was in these discussions, and I started making this idealistic argument for why you shouldn't buy Ripple. And one of the guys just goes, dude, I'm a day trader. I don't care. I just want to make money. And it dawned on me. I was like, son of a bitch. Idealism is the enemy of practicality. This guy's trading Ripple and running away to the bank. Meanwhile, I'm holding byteball, waiting for the stroke of God to touch the project. Anyway, excellent decision, Mark G, to take 50% in January. Oh, hell yeah, you're a smart guy, Mark G. I know I should have took 5%, was drunk on the momentum. Hey, man, we all were. Every night was telling myself I'd start taking chunks out, then got pulled. Yeah, that happened to all of us, man. You can't beat yourself up on that. Hindsight is 2020. I know of no banks that are using XRP or would touch it anyway. It is controlled by SV company. 20% of all XRP in existence were taken by the exactly. This project is not in the spirit of what cryptocurrency was supposed to be, right? So, but anyway, with regard to the price of Ripple here, let's do a little charting here. On the 4-hour, nice little array here, graphing the lows, and run up, consolidation, moving. And what I kind of like about this is we're reaching up to this top here. And although we haven't beaten it, we're getting up there with more consistency. This was came from way down here, ballooned up, subsequently sold off. It stayed in this area a long time with my cursor. Now it's moving up. I think there is a potential for a nice little second wave in this. Let's just go down to the hourly to see. So sometimes when I speculate looking for the top of the next peak, I'll graph from the base. Excuse me, not there, I'm tripping. The base of the first run up through one of the initial comebacks. If you get at that angle, you pretty much realize that, I mean, okay, guys, this is rippled, but very unlikely we're going to fly up here. But I've found that if you line up one of these, and this is played out many, many times, I don't know what this is called, but you find that that price will come up there. Or maybe something like this, for example. And a ripple run up to $1.40 in the next day with everything we've been seeing in crypto. Not unrealistic at all. And it would correspond to this little trend here, meeting up with it. Now, of course, this is just pure speculation here. But we'll see what happens. Professional traders, whale sharks, and trading bots were piquing my skepticism by mid-January. I mean, look, your trading bots and your professional traders, they lack the blue-collar horse sense. And that's the thing, is what you're looking at on this graph is just the sum total of human decisions, right? Buy or sell, buy or sell. And it happens to create kind of a pattern that corresponds to all that Fibonacci shit. And maybe, hey, you know, when humans act collectively, it manifests a pattern that looks like other things in nature. That's a fascinating thought. But you got to account for the sentiment of the market. And that is so whimsical that I don't think there's one single formula that can be applied to it. I think it's sort of more like a, what do they call that thing in math? It's a fractal. It's like a Mandelbrot set or something. If you guys know what I'm talking about, say it in the comments, where you basically have to plug in the same formula over and over and over and over and over again before you figure out what the hell it is. And I think that might be the same thing when it comes to trading these stocks, is that over a course of like one trial, your percentage of being right might literally be 50.00001%. Like you're so tiny little bit above average that nobody ever noticed. But if it played out a million times in a million scenarios, that's when you'll see it works. That's when you'll see the gain. And that's kind of fascinating to me that the stock market and crypto might be like that. But now taking a look at byteball, just glancing at the graph, my gut instinct is take profit right now. Right now, take profit. 2 days ago, we're sitting at 0.053. I'm just going to call it 53. And now we're at 75. Scalp. You know, if you, like yesterday or maybe the day before, I have to get in tight here. I got out in this area as we came up to this line, this blue line right here. See it? Because look, trend of peaks coming up here, getting some of that sell pressure. We've been on a bull run. Seems like an intelligent trade, right? No, byteball decides to go ballistic, break through the pressure. And you know what? It teases me, right? They always tease you, always get you there. Like, okay, yeah. No, that's the bear trap. And kabow. And you know what's going to happen to people? They're going to buy in right here. And then, like always, kerplunk. That's what I'm waiting for right now. I'm waiting for the kerplunk. Because I love byteball, but I know this can't go on forever. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, I think we'll get some consolidation. But eventually, yeah, I do think byteball is going to head way up as the project gains traction, notoriety, good PR. I think it's a winner, so I'm sticking with it. All right, how many viewers do we have now? Hey, we still got Giving Tree and Mark G. Appreciate you guys. So what was that coin that Mark here wanted to look at? What was it? Storm coin, right? that right? Hold up. Where is it in the chat? Oh, all right. I'm not seeing it. I mean, I'll try. No, it's, yeah, I'm not seeing it, man. Are you talking about this right here? I want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing before I get into it. But if I can't find the one you mentioned, you know, send me something else and I'll take a look. Giving Tree says, was very proud of myself for at least selling off ambitious swing trade holdings and concentrating in quality projects. They got pulled down with the collective market, but at least I like them long term. Yeah, for sure. All right, Margie Engine, man, you talk about all these projects I never heard of, man. All right, Engine Coin. Okay, well, before we do this, we're going to take it over to our trusty coin market cap. And EN, what's it here? Everything again. Okay, $122 million market cap. How long you been around? Oh, you were new. You were new. What'd you get up to a market cap? 280? Yeah, so it was one of them new projects that did a 10x like everything, right? There's a lot of those that came out like October, November, did a 10x. Where's it listed? Binance appears to be the major exchange. And Mark, I kind of assume that this price action here had a lot to do with the rumor and subsequent listing of the project on Binance. Because I mean, I can just see here by looking at the markets that beforehand, I mean, okay, you get on KuCoin, but getting on Binance is a huge boon to a project. So, you know, without jumping into a lot of research on the project itself, let's just take it over to the charts because we don't have time to get into all the research. And I'm sure in the comments you can, you know, answer any questions here. Most of it's been good. 75% has been distributed. Mark, if you could mention what the timetable is on the rest of that, like how long it's going to take to get everything out there. Yeah. Well, that's the thing about being listed on Binance is that may have been the bull rush of the project, and if there's not enough fundamental momentum behind it, then you know it might have seen an all-time high that it's going to be quite a while before it gets back to. Perfect for Minecraft servers, guides, clans, and gamers. With all the kids that play Minecraft, I mean, can't. But smart cryptocurrency for gaming, interesting. Most secure mobile cryptocurrency wallet in the world. See, I'm just going to be honest with you here, man. This is a provoking my bullshit detector because this is one hell of a claim, the most secure. That, you know, I come from Missouri, right? We call that the show me state. Show me. You got to prove this. I'm not going to take your word for it on this. So I feel like this is almost a little overstated and smells of a little BS, but then again, I'm not going to judge the project simply based on that. That would just be stupid. Okay, I like the friendly graphics. I mean, it definitely seems to have a use case. I like that. Seems to have a good focus. So let's just take a look at the charts. That's my arena. I don't even think looking at this on the weekly would be worth anything, though. It's too young. Okay, stop asking me if I want to join. Okay, so I look at this graph and I got to think to myself, we have to factor in the market before Binance and the market after Binance. So I'm going to make a lot of assumptions here, and I could be wrong because I don't know jack about this project. But it seems like, I'm just going to draw a vertical line. Right here is when the insiders got the rumor about it being listed on Binance. The rumor gradually spread. And we got that little gradual kind of run. Like, and calling that gradual is pretty understated when you realize that from 200 to 305 Satoshi up to 1,500 Satoshi. That could be the rumor, and then the news hit that it's on Binance, it's happening, boom, 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 maybe in this sort of area. If I'm just looking at the chart and making observations and guessing here. And then, of course, you know, comes up all-time high. That's not the line we wanted to draw. We wanted the horizontal. I like Storm, great team and supporters like Engine, both held up better than most, sustaining 100 MCP support. I'm shifting some profits and swing trades on projects that took a heavier hit into them. On swing trade, don't you ever watch Shitcoin Talk on YouTube? Crypto elders shooting the shit about deep in the muck of crypto, hilarious. Recent 5 episodes is recommended entertainment. I'll have to check that out. That sounds pretty good. All right, so got a horizontal line drawn at the top of it, and let's put one at the bottom of that initial breakout. I mean, you know, it looks like it's pretty firmly tested this this bottom here. So I like that. Let's take it to the 4-hour because I'm going to consider after this vertical line is a new market. So much more money is being exposed to this. It's a new condition. Dead on. Isn't that why you should be looking at small caps for massive gains? Who cares about 50 or 75 in crypto? I want 25x, 100x, 250x. You know, Mark, here's the thing about that. And I've given that same thing some thought is I think it probably gets just increasingly harder to find that diamond in the rough because for every project that has a $25 million market cap that is going to be your 100x project, there's probably 50 of them that won't go anywhere or are going to go to nothing. And so how are you going to pick? You know what I'm saying? And I think we can do all the research in the world and still get it wrong because there's too many anomalies in the market. So my strategy has been buy what I believe is the best technology because I have confidence in this market, realizing what works best, what has the most utility, and invest in that and ultimately using it because it's better. Hence the phrase byteball, because it's better. But okay, I like that we'll call this like 1450 Satoshi. Tested it, came up, tested it, came up. Seems like there was a quick test on the short candle, but really definitely seems to be in a squeeze. Definitely seems to be in a squeeze and could be presenting a nice buy opportunity. I don't know. The one thing that concerns me is I'm not seeing any sort of angle of established bull momentum here that you would come to rejoin. Like, you know what, when projects ramp up, they kind of will do this sort of thing. And then when they crash, you can find like some point of support they might meet on the longer term like this. This doesn't seem to be here. You know, you graph the angle of the first breakout way up here. And I don't know what else to graph here as far as something that would be like in this neighborhood. I mean, and I'm really hesitant to put this line here because it just really doesn't correspond to very much. So I don't know, man. I'm a little dubious because of how quickly it ramped up here. And it seems like there might not be a lot of bottom here from like 1,000 Satoshi, even like 500 up because of how quick it got there. And even if we're in like a new market condition, who knows? I really don't know much about the project. And I mean, I could eat my words here. I might be too much of a pessimist, man, but I don't, I'm trying to find something, but I feel like I'm just drawing random ass lines on a graph that don't mean anything. And that's easy to do when you're trying to do some analysis here. Yeah, Mark, I think I'm realizing that. I think Engine, I don't know how I'm pronouncing that right. I think Engine isn't chartable. It is more of a FA and TA analysis right now. Anthony DeLorean wouldn't get involved in something if it wasn't real. And you know, with the project as young as this is, man, it's going to defy a lot of the chart wisdom. It's too new, it's too young, and there's too many anomalies. So I can only give you what the graph is telling me, and I'm not going to be right every time. So I like the use case. I definitely do. And if this Anthony DeLorean is, you know, a respected figure, you know, somebody's a stand-up guy, then hey, it looks like you're in a good project. Just be mindful, stick with it. You know the drill. It's making leaps on decent small caps mid-December, January, combining markets consistently for unpumped projects. Yeah, I had 60 shares of Z Classic when it was $10, and I sold them when it was 14 because I thought I was a really good trader. Yeah. Okay. But when confidence flees the market, smaller caps drop dramatically. Question is, when will bull run fuel speculative runs? Pejorative is vigilantly taking profits when they spike. Yep. Oh, you might be wondering what this little byteball barcode is here. So this is pretty cool because if you have a byteball wallet and you scan it, it's going to input all the information to give you the option to send me half a megabyte, which is going to be like 35 cents or something right now, like not very much. But it makes very small donations extremely convenient. You want to swipe the barcode, you don't have to worry in putting in an amount. You certainly don't have to worry about putting in the address, which can be confusing and tricky. And it's really easy. Just you pull out the phone, scan it, puts in all the information, you hit send, takes 5 seconds. And, you know, I really do think that a lot of, so I'm just coming back here, guys. Micropayments are going to really revolutionize the world, and it's going to be done through cryptocurrency. Because right now, if you want to send a small amount of money to somebody, it's time consuming, it's difficult. You have to have like on Facebook, for example, you have to have it connected to your bank account. They have to have their bank account connected. Of course, all of it's traceable. And so this easily, with this barcode on my channel, you guys could send me the equivalent of 35 or 40, whatever it is, 35 cents in 10 seconds if you like my content. And it could be as low as 10 cents or even 5 cents. But the point is that if you're somebody on social media whose live streams are reaching 10,000 or 20,000 people, they might not want to donate $1 or $5, but they'd be willing to donate 5 cents. And byteball and other crypto gives them that option. And so, I mean, I see it as a way for a whole new group of people to be able to generate revenue. And so it's gonna give mainstream media even more not entertainment. Well, maybe more competition, I should say. When did byteball come into existence? I think sometime in December of 2016 was when the project was launched. The first exchange you could get it on, I believe, was Cryptox. I got on Cryptox in late January last year and bought my shares of byteball. And at that point, I took $500 worth of Bitcoin and bought shares of byteball in early January. That was my initial byteball investment. And then like literally forgot about it for 3 months. missed out on, I think, a couple of the distributions, which sucks. And then didn't even think about it until the price went up from like $40, it was at like 200. And I was like, whoa, okay. And then by the, the summer in June, it had gone up to like 900. And I was convinced that it was just going to go to like a $10,000 or something. And I scalped a little profit and held through the grizzly bear market. That was horrible. And now we're just waiting for it to recover. Excited about the distribution coming up. Looking forward to just getting more shares of the byteballs. Yeah, I've been in byteball for a minute. I'm going to come back over to screen share. I'll take you over to show you the video I watched that actually made me want to buy it. Mark G says, I sent one dash to a buddy. We were sitting next to each other at the pub as my finger was lifting off the iPhone screen. A pending transaction appeared on his phone. 10 seconds later, it was confirmed. Impressive. See, byteball, the pending transaction, you see it instantly, and it normally takes usually a couple minutes to confirm everything and make it spendable. But being a DAG platform, more users that are on it, it speeds up, as far as I understand. Some tech guru is probably going to like lecture me as to why that's not exactly right, but crypto is the greatest invention since the internet. People can FUD it all they want, but saying crypto is going away is like saying the internet. Yeah, exactly. I think I notice a parallel with cryptocurrency that I see in the internet is the people in their 20s were mesmerized by it and found it fascinating, and people in their 50s or 40s found it confusing, and people in their 60s didn't understand what it could be used for. And I see the exact same thing with cryptocurrency right now, is people who are my age and younger, I'm 30, look at this and go, wow, holy cow, what this could mean. Talking to somebody my dad's age, it's, why bother? You know what I'm saying? And when old people don't get it, you should invest in it. Every time, go back through history, every single time. If a rich guy in his 60s said he wouldn't risk his money on that investment, on the new fandangled thing that nobody understood, go buy it. So when Warren Buffett tells me he doesn't see the point of buying Bitcoin, I go and buy Bitcoin. And maybe I'm dumb for doing that, but it worked really well. If you're 10 years old right now, by the time you go to college, yeah, exactly. And I've made this point in a few of my live streams on here, and then a lot of my Facebook live streams, where I'm 30. The internet's half real to me. I didn't have the internet until I was like 10 years old. And then when we got it, it was this little slow phone cord thing. So the internet's half real. But the people born after the year 2000, after the year 2010, they grew up immersed in the internet. It's as real to them as real life. So internet money will be as real to them as regular money. And that is the consideration that so many of these financial pundits don't consider, is they think about the potential or what's going to happen with cryptocurrency in 30 years, like 70-year-old investors are still going to be investing. No, they're going to be dead. And little 10-year-old guy, little 10-year-old kid who's doing Lego robotics is going to be the one investing his money, and he's going to be buying cryptocurrency. So, yeah. But, of all the cryptos I've researched, I'm gonna show my own project here. byteball just seems to have the most utility, the most use cases. It just does more than most of them do. And I was watching a video where somebody was reviewing byteball, and that was their criticism. It's a jack of all trades. It does too many things, and thus they said it lacks focus. And I guess that's a pretty good problem to have. I mean, you're too good. You do everything too well. Guys, download the byteball wallet and check it out, because it has the potential to be an entire decentralized social media platform. They just partnered with Jumio, and the point of that partnership is to allow people and ICO developers to be able to confirm their identity, to be able to say, I am who I say I am. And of course, a lot of people in crypto want to, they like the anonymity, and byteball offers that too with black bytes. But for the people who are less concerned about anonymity and want notoriety, want to be respected in, like, you name it, we'll go through this process and be able to do business on the platform with a better reputation. And so this is absolutely fantastic. But ultimately, you're going to see every user being able to make their own avatar, their own profile, and they'll be able to message and communicate. I mean, think of a byteball wallet with very similar to Facebook, and that there's your timeline, and you have your friends on there, and you see what they post and what they update. But in addition, there's a marketplace, and you can transfer funds between each other. But most importantly, it's not controlled by one company. It doesn't have certain ads being directed away from you because the CEO of the company has a certain political affiliation. It's not logging and storing all your searches for the sole purpose of just analyzing you and figuring you out so they can develop AI that's ultimately going to take over the world. So we're going to see a shift to decentralized social media platforms because, look, Facebook is leaving a bad taste in people's mouth. They're like, why are you so concerned with everything I'm doing? I like the idea of being able to be on a social media platform where I could display my personality to the world and network with people. But now you are all up in my business, Mark Zuckerberg. You're looking at my searches. You're sending me ads. I heard a story about a teenage girl whose father found out she was pregnant because he logged onto her computer and realized that the ads that she was getting served up were for birth control and pregnancy tests and baby clothes because she had Googled pregnancy test and am I pregnant? And that's how her dad found out. That is creepy. Or it's like when you're thinking of something and then you're looking through Facebook, all of a sudden there's an ad for it. It's creepy. It's off-putting and it's weird. And that is why decentralized, Steam It is the one that's really like the first, like the one with cryptocurrency decentralized platform. I love it. I love the idea of Steam It. I think the interface looks like about a decade behind what it should be, but the premise is great. Upvote articles that are better. I love it. What other coins do I own? So right now I'm in byteball and Ripple. I am not super diversified, and maybe I should be. I've seen a lot of volatility. I'm in Ripple for the short term because I have confidence in dumb money, and I think a lot of morons are going to start buying Ripple in the next week because everyone wants to see the next pump, but everyone's already sour on Bitcoin. But Ripple sounds cool and it's cheap, so why not? But I intend to move right back into byteball with any profits I make with Ripple. And as Fish would say, hodl the hell out of that project because there is a push in the byteball community to get it listed on Binance. And when that happens, I think a market cap in the billions is not unrealistic at all. So byteball, the upward potential, I think the risk reward ratio, the fact that it is such a good project. Come on. And yeah, Mark G, you see, Mark, you're just like a responsible investor who probably outperforms 90% of the people in the space because you just make good, level-headed, intelligent decisions, and you diversify across what appears to be a good mixture of higher and lower cap projects. Got you some Cardano, some Ethereum Classic, some EOS, some Ethereum, SC, some Fun. Was that Funfair? Cross. So yeah, you got some Monero, we got some Stellar. Your portfolio is solid, man. Younger people, hate Facebook. They get free content. They sell your data to pigs all over the world. The currency is data. It is bigger than that's the thing. But here. Information has value, and we need to realize that the internet has given us something more valuable than we realize, is that in our pocket, on our phone, we have access to more information than a guy at the biggest university library had 30 years ago. But yet we still live in the society, especially in America, where we think that to be educated, we have to go to university and pay an exorbitant amount of money for degrees. And that's not just for the sheet of paper, the certificate that says, I was there, I learned it. It's for your reputation and credibility in society. You were told that if you don't go to college, you're uneducated. People thumb their nose at you. And this was true for a long time, when to get information, you had to go to the library. You had to show a lot of initiative. But in the last 10 years, there's a university in your pocket. There's more information available to anyone with the initiative and the gumption to go find it, that it's there. And so because of this, in the last decade, there are a lot of very highly educated, uneducated people who are getting pissed off that all the things they've learned aren't recognized by mainstream society. And I speak from experience here. I did not go to college or university, but I'm well educated on what I've chosen to study. And it sucks when you got no credential. So I think inevitably people are going to start appreciating the sort of freedom of information and appreciating unorthodox ways of acquiring it. So, I mean, like for example, imagine a decentralized university. It's free, the information's there, and then there's maybe a test that you could pay to take. And if you pass enough of these tests, then you get some kind of credibility. And I'll tell you this, in 10 or 20 years, an employer looking at your job is like, okay, you went to university, that's great. Or you took all of these tests that many people take that demonstrate that you can do the work. Okay, you can do it. I don't care if you went to Harvard or you did tests on your phone. If you can do the work that needs to be done for the job, come on, come on. We give about once a year past 3 years, I've woken up 4 a.m. with the urgent desire to make Facebook competitor. Users' own data, customization options, open source. This isn't, man, giving tree, it's inevitable. We're already seeing the shift with the young people to Instagram and Snapchat. But to me, it doesn't really seem like they're much different than Facebook. I mean, Instagram looks like a more childish version of Facebook, but it doesn't seem to really do anything that Facebook doesn't do. And the same thing with Instagram. I mean, Snapchat looks like an even more childish version of Instagram. So what's going on here? I think that the decentralized crypto platforms are not just going to take on that more childish look. They're going to be a huge leap forward in utility. They're going to be able to, yeah, you want to send a little money to a guy in Pakistan? It's easy, boom. Yeah, Facebook banned all ads for crypto or ICOs. That's exactly why people are paying attention now. Facebook bans Bitcoin. Like culturally, we already feel that Facebook is in our business too much. Now they banned Bitcoin. Guess what? Now we want Bitcoin. Ain't that funny? The minute you ban anything, people want it. There are people out there who want counterban and things that are illegal or drugs or something, not to use the drugs, but just because it's illegal. Just because I'm not supposed to have it. No, I want it. So the minute Facebook says, well, Mark Zuckerberg gets on there and gives you his speech that all the real leftist liberals fawn over. Mark Zuckerberg gives you the speech about the dangers of cryptocurrency. You know he's going to do it at some point. There's going to be a whole group of people who are like, give me all the Bitcoin I can buy. Mark Zuckerberg hates it. The contrarian. And that's the thing is, I think he's making a big mistake. I think Zuckerberg has so much money that he's set for life. It's not like he's going to fall off the map or anything, but I hope, for karma's sake, I hope the Winklevoss twins, in the end, come back and stomp Zuckerberg. Like, I hope the Winklevoss twins at some point get behind one of these decentralized platforms that ends up just having being bigger than Facebook. Because, you know, I watched that movie, The Social Network. I mean, obviously there's a little embellishment, but it's like, dang, you just copied their idea and just ran off and just, and I mean, I know it's not that simple, but I don't know. Like Zuckerberg just rubs me the wrong way, man. That's all it comes down to. Any one of these billionaire celebrities that came out during election season and told the American people to vote for Hillary Clinton lost all my respect. You can be a Democrat. That's fine. You can hate Trump. That's fine. Don't tell me to vote for Hillary Clinton. Not with everything that came out about her in the Clinton Foundation, in the Trump dossier, and all of it, what happened in Haiti with George Soros and this and that. No, don't tell me to vote for Hillary. Didn't it rub you guys the wrong way that 90% of the multi-billionaires were telling you to vote for Hillary? That Michael Bloomberg, vote for Hillary. Zuckerberg, vote for Hillary. That all of these people, all these multi-billionaires, we're talking net worths of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 billion dollars. There was this general consensus for Hillary Clinton. That bothers me. That bothers me a lot. Because, look, I want to believe in the best in people. And I want to believe in capitalism. And I want to believe that competition between business owners ultimately creates better projects. I believe in free market capitalism. I believe that when we compete to create and help our society, that we make better products, that it brings out the best in us. But I also believe that if a few people controlled enough wealth that they could have us by the balls, they would give us the illusion of competition while they cornered the market. Look at America over the last 50 years and the things that we can buy and the things that we can do. We can buy and do a lot of bullshit in this country. You can get 50 different flavors of fucking barbecue sauce. I don't know who the hell needs that many flavors of barbecue sauce, but we got them. We got just so many superficial, remedial choices that give us this illusion of freedom in this country. But it's fake. And I know, I'm like, oh man, you're a conspiracy theorist. Man, it's not like, you know, there's this undertone here where there's people going, we're going to sell the American people shit and run off with the money. It's not like that. It's that people we've realized what we respond to. And we respond to sugar-coated shit. We respond to cheap stuff wrapped in a bow, put on sale so you can buy 2 of them. Buy one, get one half price. The ultimate bullshit sales line of America. Crypto is bigger than the internet boom. It ties into global currency flows, which is massive beyond comprehension. See, in the long term, Mark G, I think you might be right. But what crypto, because I know you're going to need hardware for mining, but crypto is not going to represent as much hardware manufacturing. At least I don't think. And because I really can't see how it would. You know, the internet boom, tons of computers had to be built, tons of routers, tons of cables, this, that, and the other thing. With cryptocurrency, you're not going to see it as much of the manufacturing boom. So it's going to have differences. Sure, I mean, they're certainly comparable, but I think we can get away from ourselves a little bit when we try to compare them too readily. So, but yeah. I firmly believe, not firmly believe, you know, I don't have any proof, but that very wealthy billionaires in this country have already sunk into cryptocurrency. There's a video on Facebook from 2014 that has Bill Gates talking about Bitcoin. Bill Gates, net worth of like $90 billion, right? This is a man who had the vision to understand that DOS was valuable, that Windows was valuable. When most of the world didn't understand the internet, he was on the forefront. So we know Bill Gates is a man with ingenuity. He's incredibly intelligent. You know damn well he didn't just look at cryptocurrency and thumb his nose at it. He looked into it. He probably read the Bitcoin white paper, and he knew about it in 2014. When Bitcoin was 300, do you honestly think Bill Gates wasn't sinking into that market, however gradually? Bill Gates worth 90 billion. It ain't nothing for him to just arbitrarily, once a week, dump $1 million into Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? And over the course of a year, put $300 million into Bitcoin and just see what happens. That's nothing to him. And that's the point, is when you're talking about someone with that much wealth, a speculative move from their perspective represents hundreds of millions of dollars. So yeah, I think Bill Gates probably has some Bitcoin. I think Jeff Bezos, I think they all probably have some of it. Then they all dumped it back on you when Bitcoin was $18,000, $19,000. Well, you think the big Bitcoin whales are tech nerds that were mining Bitcoin in 2011? Yeah, some of them. The other ones are all the billionaires you've already heard of that accumulated 2 years ago. Don't be stupid. These ultra billionaires are really intelligent, especially the young ones, especially the ones who made their fortune in technology. You think they're like, oh, I don't have any Bitcoin. Jamie Dimon, I don't want to talk about Bitcoin. I bet you don't. I bet you got so many Bitcoins that you could build a house out of them. I was initially critical about mainstream culture and power structure from a young age, but for the masses, crypto is perfectly timely. It's technology-backed, comprehensive cultural movement. You know, crypto is going to have the same cultural ideals warp that we've seen forever among anarchists. There's two types of anarchists. There's like the anarcho-capitalist and the anarcho-communist. The ones who are like, sure, let people be free. When they're naturally free, they're going to go one of two ways. And the capitalists believe that this is human nature to be in a free market capitalist society. That's what human nature is going to go for, yada, yada, yada. Anarcho-capitalism. Anarcho-communist is the same way. Now, these things have been rebranded. The concept of anarcho-communism in America got sugar-coated and called democratic socialism, which to me, it's like, okay, I know there's a difference between communism and socialism, but let's see, if we let all the people vote in a democracy, they're going to elect a socialist system. So if you give people freedom, they're going to choose to become socialists. How's that any different from anarcho-communism, where it's like they all have freedom, but they're going to choose to be communists? Same shit, just wrapped up different. But you see, in crypto, there are the people who see crypto as being like this nice, decentralized, one world sort of currency that is, I don't know, freeing in a sense. But I think these people ruin it for most of us because idealism is the enemy of practicality. And when you listen to one of these Bitcoin and crypto gurus go on and on about how cryptocurrency is going to replace the entire monetary system and all that, 90% of people are going to think you're crazy. They're like, you're crazy. And by default, they're going to think crypto is crazy. They're not going to want to buy it. And it makes us look bad. The market isn't ready for the news that crypto is going to revolutionize everything. Save that for the people that go to the conference with Viatech. What we need to tell people is that internet money's cool. You should buy internet money because like internet money's like better than regular money because like regular money, the 1%, like they control all of it. And like crypto, it's decentralized. So like the 1% don't control it. Like that's how dumb the message needs to be. I mean, did you guys into politics at all? Did you watch any politics in America? Bernie Sanders gained traction by making the most shallow, superficial appeal to the most quantifiably ignorant demographic in America. He basically told millennials, hey kids, guess what? When you get to your mid-20s, the two biggest financial burdens that you're going to encounter, well, if you vote for me, you won't have to deal with them. Numero uno, we're going to give you health insurance. Because in America, if you get to be 25, you're off your parents' plan. And we're going to forgive student loan debt. So what the hell? Every millennial loved Bernie because Bernie told them, I'm going to save you a bucket load of money because greed is eternal. Now, to hell with the economic policies would have resulted in being a complete shit show. You know, we didn't need to get all that because the young people in this country don't even have the attention span for it. So Bernie gains traction based on the greed and ignorance of people. And then Ripple gets pumped to shit. And I see a parallel, you know? I mean, you know, if you're of another political affiliation, this applies to Trump. We elected Trump. Like, we didn't elect like a respectable Republican figure in the primary to run against Hillary Clinton, you know? We got Trump. This country is going to shit. We don't know what we're doing anymore. It's fun, but we don't know. So Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Gates said during a Bloomberg TV Street Smart show interview yesterday, yeah, I mean, Bill Gates would be like, yeah, Bitcoin's interesting. Bitcoin is better than the currency in that you don't have to physically in the same place. And of course, large transactions occur. Exactly. You know, that's what Gates said. I think it was that interview in 2014. And I got to wonder what Bill Gates defines as a large transaction. Because when I want to send $10 billion, it's pretty inconvenient. And the rest of us are like, boy, I'd love to have that inconvenience. Let me take that inconvenience from you. But anyway, guys, I'm about out of gas here. And it is Valentine's Day. My girlfriend worked a double, so she gets off at 10 o'clock. It's about 9 o'clock here. I'm going to clean the house and make a little bubble bath for her, do all that boyfriend stuff that will naturally result in a night of romantic bliss and my being tired tomorrow morning. Wish me luck.